So we need to turn down the console because DS Lite, as far as I know, don't have plug and play that was introduced with the DSi, and we need to remove the cover of the battery. That's pretty easy. All you need is a Phillips screw, the one that has the head with only four hinges or 4 places to put it. And I believe you cannot see it. Well, yeah, it can be seen, but it's basically the leftmost hole that gives our way into the SL1, I think it's called. I don't recall exactly, but I think it's that one. So we will need to sort that. I'm going to use the worst method of all them to sort it, which is the all-reliable tinfoil stick. This is absolutely hilarious, but it works, and why not? If this piece of nothing works, then you can do it. But as I said, if you want to tear down the whole console and put a bit of solder, it will work too. So basically we will need to put it like that and flash the firmware. So to flash the firmware, we are not going to use Flash Mesh installer. We're going to use, let's put into the flash card. We're actually going to use CTOR's flasher, which is basically a kind of genetic flasher, which can flash any binary to the flash memory of the DS. So yep, that's pretty much it. You can search for it, but we will leave a download link to it on the page once it's finished this stream. So let's get to it. I have here the flasher. It's called Firmware Manager, or FW Manager for short. And yeah, it works as a generic flasher. So basically it says, warning, this tool may damage your system, use at your own risk. Of course, that's something you need to know. If you are flashing your firmware and the first time you fail, your battery goes out or something, then it's, well, it's not game over. It's very easy to unbrick a DS. In fact, I have unbricked mine a couple of times, if I recall correctly. But once our custom firmware is installed, it will have a recovery mode, which basically means if you for some reason try then to go back to stock firmware and you fail, you won't brick your consoles because you can basically recover them. All you need to do with CTOR's flasher is just press A, and we'll make sure to have the battery well pressed. We don't want to unplug it while flashing the firmware, otherwise this will be a fail. So we just press A, and now we need to press start to start the flashing, which I'm going to do. Okay, flashing firmware, and it's already starting to flash because there's a small percentage of the flash that is actually writable, that you can write without shorting the SL1 bridge, without breaching it. But there's another part of the memory that is not writable without sorting it. So basically, because I have already installed a custom firmware on this unit, it's already flashing the part that is writable. But if it's the first time you're doing it, you will probably be asked to do it from the beginning. Alright, so now all you need to do is to put this into the SL1, which I will show again is this one. Just need to put it, and okay, we're flashing. So CTOR's flasher, it's slightly slower than Flash Mesh, for example. Flash Mesh is quite fast, actually. I don't know why this is. I bet it was programmed directly on the bare metal. But for CTOR's one, it's quite a bit slower. It's on 85% and going on. Yeah, this is the boring part of the process, but you only need to do it once. So that's excellent. And there we go. So we're done. I think you can kind of see it more or less. The camera doesn't focus very well on this. And we can pretty much now turn off the console. So next step after flashing it is obviously checking that it has worked. So all we need to do is to boot the console again, and yeah, it works perfectly. It goes to the main screen, everything works, PictoChat, games, etc. So we need to remove flash card, the GBA port, of course. We're going to remove the battery. When you remove the battery, the settings are lost, but doesn't really matter much because you set them when you start the console again. So yeah, no big deal. This is the pretty standard part where you disassemble the console. So there's basically a couple of Phillips screws over here, and this one won't fit for some reason. Yeah, it won't. And we also have this special Nintendo 3 wire. I'm not sure how they're called, but they are like three side screw. Let's remove first all the Phillips screws. There's basically one here and two on this behind this rubber thing. So we just need to remove them. 1, 2. Yeah, they go out pretty easily. Now back to the Phillips screw. And I will show you a couple of things once we are inside the DS. As you've seen, this DS boots without top screen. That's because it has the resistor mode to boot without top screen, but that mod is perfectly compatible with the TV OUT board because basically they do the same thing, so the DS doesn't complain. And yeah, this is the proper screwdriver. We just need to remove 3 more screws and we are basically done inside the DS. So this will be quite fast. The DS Lite is quite easy to disassemble compared to the DSi, at least in my opinion, and the 3DS. I guess they just were able to reduce the hardware to the minimal expression, which is good. Now for opening it, what I like to use is a guitar pick, so I don't need to use my nail. Basically, you wanna, with your fingers, maintain these 2 buttons. So you can see it can go out pretty easily, but I will just use the pick over here, and that's it. This back case is pretty easy to remove. Yes, we'll leave it here as I'm going to use it later. Okay, so what do we have here? On a DS with upper screen, you will have this connected over here like this, and the connector of the ribbon cable is on the other side of the board. That's where we are going to plug the TV OUT board. So of course we need to flip the board. I will leave this, but if you have a DS with top screen, just know that it's going to be connected, and these 2 cables, one of them, the white one, is going to be plugged into a socket that is here, antenna, and the other one is going to be plugged into this chip. This chip is the Wi-Fi chip of the DS, and it's where the firmware is actually stored. That's why I said it's very easy to unbrick a DS Lite if you brick it, because this is removable, so you can put it on a, let's say, on another DS that boots and swap it and flash a firmware to it. So it's trivial to unbrick as long as you have another working DS Lite. So what I'm going to do here is just remove the L and R buttons gently, because I don't want to lose the there's like a tiny spring here that maintains it. So I will just remove it. They go out very easily. Just treat them with care. I spilled it anyways. So this is the chip. As I said, it can be removed very easily. It's a socket that is plugged here, so no big deal. I'm going to leave it plugged because we don't really want to remove it, otherwise the DS won't boot. Now there are 2 remaining screws on this board that we need to remove to install the TV OUT board. These 2 are here. So here's the first one. We'll just remove it. No big deal. And the second one on the left should be relatively easy. Alright. So we are now working with the bottom part of the DS. Now this depends on your DS. If you've never disassembled it, the bottom screen, let me see if I can show you. The bottom screen is going to be kind of paste with some kind of sticky material. I don't know what is it, but in my case, because I have disassembled it a couple of times already, just pushing on the bottom screen will make the whole board go away, which is what we want. And I'm just going to remove it gently. I'm not even going to remove the bottom screen flex, which is here. It's really small and I don't want to remove it because otherwise I'm going to spend 5 or 10 minutes just trying to plug it again, and we don't want that, of course. So let's see the other side of the DS. At this point we can actually use the part of the other case to place the, let's see if this fits. Yeah, it fits. Be careful with the power button and so on, because they only have one position where they fit. So what do we have here? I have the resistor mod, which I've installed it here. It's not the best place, but it kind of works for me. And here we have the socket for the top screen, which usually will go here and will be plugged like that. So this is where we are going to plug our TV out. Now, a few considerations before doing this. Here we have the board. I have different sizes of ribbon cables. I will use this one unless we have any problems, but I have a larger one which works equally well. So yeah, pretty much all you need to do is plug it. Alright, but these boards, a few tips I can give you from match testing is always make sure you plug it correctly. Try not to bend the ribbon cable, and we'll get later to that after we test it. But there are several ways to reassemble the console together. So basically, I think the cleanest mode of them all is the one Nico did, where he cut a little, not hole, but a line in the L button, and the ribbon cable just go out of there, and it's almost unnoticeable from a normal button. But in my case, I'm not going to reassemble it fully after we test it, so no big deal. The ribbon cable can be plugged either way, so I'm just going to make sure I plug it correctly. It's very important that it is plugged with enough strength and until the end. Otherwise, we will get some image errors on the screen once we connect it. Because if the ribbon cable is baggy or is not connecting properly, sometimes the signal may have some noise because the ribbon cable is not making contact correctly. So that's pretty much the reason behind it. Alright, I think this is plugged correctly, though I could plug it with a bit more of strength. And this is pretty standard connector for ribbon cable. But if you are planning on soldering this by hand, let me know in the comments, because I can give you a few tips to solder them manually. Because we have tested at least 2 methods to solder them. And yeah, some of them are better than others if you do it manually in your house or whatever. So now we are going to go to the TV, which I unfortunately have on another room, so I will switch here the screen, but it will be painless. I have a couple of games here that we're going to test. I have Spectros, and over there I have Pokemon, and I have Mario Kart, which are classics for DS, and we'll see how this works. So my TV, my DS is plugged, is turned on. We'll just turn this on. Okay, so we have perfect, crystal clear video signal. Let's just swap. There we go. Okay, we got bottom screen on the top screen, so you can just switch. And I'm going to put you the Spectro intro because it's missing. By the way, when you have the top screen of the bottom screen, which you cannot really see now, but I will show you. Okay, let's show you with this camera. So basically, the other screen is here, but the touch screen is still the one that is on the TV. So if I touch here, I will actually put the game. Let's see it. There we go. So this works. Let's swap a screen again. There we go. All right. There we go. We got Game Freak. Good old Game Freak. Not the greedy people they are now. I'm gonna skip this and get straight to the game. Okay, so I have played 198 hours. Not bad. Okay. Yeah, you can tell I liked this game back in the day, and now, of course. Yeah, so for example, this is the top screen. Now we will have the bottom screen, which is telling me to activate communication and stuff. Not going to do it. So let's just go straight into the game. Oh gosh, this looks really nice to play on TV. In fact, oh man, this is amazing. Looks really good.